Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here with my daughter, Taylor. Taylor, say hi.
Hello.
And today we are going to show you guys how to get a flawless foundation. So if you want to see how to get flawless foundation, just keep on watching. Taylor, today we're going to be using a Mary Kay foundation. This is in the color Ivory 104. And you always want to match the color to the person's décolleté, and what that's going to do is it's going to ensure that you have an even color and an even coverage throughout. So now that we see that it matches her décolleté, we're going to go ahead and apply the foundation to her face. And before we do that, we are going to mix this Mary Kay foundation with Blissful Body's oil, Miracle Beauty Oil and Serum. So,
shouldn't you put that thingy on my face? The stuff that fills. Do you want me to go get it, or do you want to get it?
No,
first?
I'll do it. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to mix that on the back of our hand. Make sure your hands are sanitary. I used Germ X just before we started filming, so my hands are clean. And before you apply any foundation, the first thing that you want to do is put a primer on. And what the primer does is it helps the foundation stick to your skin, and it also helps to put the foundation on evenly. So today I have two primers. I have Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer, and the drugstore version is the L'Oreal Paris Magic Lumi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix those in. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this one to her face, and I'm going to mix this one with the foundation to give her a dewy, glowy look. So all we need is just focus. We just need a little tiny dab. We don't need much. And just going to apply it to, for adults, you want to apply it in your problem areas and in your T-zone. If you're oily, unless you like the dewy look, the oily dewy look, and notice that I'm using patting motions. I'm not, rubbing it in or swiping it like this. I'm patting it into her skin to make sure that it gets, gets in there really, really well. And then I'm just going to take the Magic Lumi and just apply a little bit into the foundation. And again, just give it a nice little mix. And then I'm going to take my Sigma F80 Kabuki brush, and I'm just going to pat that onto the brush, and then I'm going to apply it to her face. And I'm using stippling motions or patting motions. I'm not, swiping this into her skin. And this matches her perfectly. I know choosing a foundation can always be really hard, so if you guys are drugstore shoppers, the best idea when buying a drugstore foundation, or any foundation for that matter, is if you can't test the product, which I highly do not recommend that you do that, buy one shade lighter than your skin tone and one shade darker and mix them together. That's the best way to ensure you get a nice even coverage that matches your skin tone. So so that you don't look like you have a ghost face or like a darker face than you should. So we are almost finished here. Just gonna make sure and get her neck to make sure that everything blends in well. Alright, so that's it for the foundation part, well, the wet foundation part. Next, we're going to take our Chanel Soleil de... I always have so much trouble saying this name. Soleil Tan de Chanel. And this is a bronzer. And we are going to take a contouring brush. I'm going to use my Real Techniques contour brush. And I'm just going to stipple this onto the brush. And another thing that I definitely want to tell you guys is that if you're using cream products, you always want to put them on either before or after your foundation. I don't think it really matters except for whatever your personal preference is. And you never want to apply a powder over, or you never want to apply a cream over a powder. That's how you get cake I'm back with my damp beauty blender. What you want to do with this is you want to wring it like this under the sink several times. It's going to go from approximately this size to this size. So it's going to double in size. And then you just bounce it off of your face. I have my bronzer on the stippling brush, and what you want to do is, kind of a rule of thumb, is if you take a brush, you can take it from the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth, and that will give you the hollow of your cheek, and that's where you apply your bronzer or your contour. So we are going to apply her bronzer right there. And anytime you use a cream product, you always want to set it with a powder, and that is another secret to a flawless foundation. And it's kind of tricky in the makeup world. You don't want to just use one or the other unless you're really dry. Then I would suggest staying away from powder, or if you're really oily, I would suggest using... Now when I go to blend this out, I'm going to take my Sigma E40 and close your eyes for me, and I'm going to just hold this down at the bottom, and I'm going to just use circular motions and windshield wiping motions. Again, the tighter or the closer you hold your brush to the top, the more intense the color. I didn't put anything on this brush. This is just to blend it out. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. We are going to find the hollows of her eye and just apply this color as intensely as I can on the outer part of her eye socket. And as I do this, I'm using small circular motions so that I don't have any harsh lines and it won't be too hard to blend out. Again, I'm taking my E25 by Sigma with nothing on it, and we're blending. Alright. Now we're going to brighten up her eyelid, and this is another reason why I just love MAC's Pro Emphasize, because you can use this for just a multitude of things. I'm going to take my MAC 242 and put that on my brush. I'm going to spray it with just a little bit of Fix Plus. And what that's going to do is it's going to help intensify the color. And I'm going to put that right on her lid. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up the eye. This is going to work wonders for anybody who has hooded eyelids. I'm using patting motions. I'm not swiping it. I want to put as much color on her lid as I possibly can. So I'm patting. Again, taking my MAC MAC Fix Plus, using patting motions, and just packing that on her lid. Alright. Taking away the eyeshadow fallout under her eye and on the side of her eye. Because what will happen sometimes with people who have hooded eyelids, if you go too far down on the eye, it'll make you look like you've got droopy eyes, and we want to make the eyes look lifted. So we are cleaning up that area. And then I know a lot of you guys requested to see brows and liner and lash applications. I don't know how I feel about doing lashes on Taylor, so for the purpose of this video, we're not going to do it. But we will do brows, and I'm going to take, give me just a minute, buddy. I'm going to take Maybelline Eye Studio in the color brown. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not, because that's going to be just a little bit too dark for her. That's more my color. I am actually going to take a powder, and I think I'm going to take Wedge by MAC on a Sigma E45 angled brush. I'm just going to dip that in and look at mommy and just fill in her brows. I don't let her tweeze her eyebrows yet, so we're just filling in her brows lightly, very lightly. I'm not trying to make her look any older than she is. She's already growing up so fast. Now, I will have to film a later video or tutorial for you guys to, you know, get that eyebrows on fleek. But for her, we're just doing a little bit of darkening. We're not doing anything dramatic. Trying to keep things natural. So for her, what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and line her lips just real quick for the purpose of this video. Normally I don't let her wear liner. And a good rule of thumb for liner is, I know the nude pinky thing is really, really in, so you always want to go a shade or two darker on your lip liner. And I know at first you're going to look ridiculous. It's going to make you look like
a mustache or something.
Yeah, it's gonna make you look weird at first, but after you apply lipstick and or glass and blend, everything will turn out really nicely, I promise. So we're just going to line her lips, and no, I'm not overlining her lips. Again, I'm not trying to make her look any older than she actually is. So this is Stripdown by MAC. Okay, so now that we're done lining her lips, I'm going to take L'Oreal Paris Legally Regal, and this is a lipstick, and I'm going to take NYX Eclair, and I'm going to put these two on her lips. And what you want to do is, again, make sure that you are sanitary. If you're doing this on a client, you don't want to take and put this directly on their lip, or put this directly on your brush and then put it on their lip and then put it back into the lipstick. That completely defeats the purpose of keeping your stuff sanitary, especially because liquid or wet products can grow bacteria very, very easily. So what you want to do is take a spatula and put it on your hand, or if you've sanitized your hands, you can take it and put it on the back of your hand. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a lot of it, probably overuse a lot of it, on the back of my hand, so that if I have to go back in with my brush, I'm not putting any bacteria back onto this. So I'm going to take my brush and pick up all that product, and I'm going to apply it to her lips. And if you have to pick up more product, because you already went like this with your brush, you don't want to put your brush or your lipstick back into the same spot, especially if you're working on a client. So you want to use a new spot and put more of that product on a different area of your hand. Again, make sure that it is sanitary. Can you open your mouth for me? Thank you. Okay, blot your lips together. Alright, and then I'm going to take NYX Eclair, and I'm going to take a wipey, and I'm going to take this off my hand. I'm going to spray my hand with alcohol, and I'm going to pick up that lip brush again and do a few swirls and place that on the back of my hand. Take that lip brush and place this on her lips. Okay, give me a blot. And as I'm doing this, I don't know if you guys... Okay, so you guys can already start to see that her liner is already starting to blend. Can you guys hear my son in the background? He's playing with a Star Wars set he got for Christmas. Okay, rub them together. And then lastly, I think every girl knows to curl their eyelashes. She has long, beautiful eyelashes already, and I don't want to ruin that. So we're not going to curl them, and I'm not going to apply mascara, but basically what you do is you put your eyelashes into the curler, you give it a couple of squeezes, it'll curl your eyelashes, and you will take your mascara. Let me see. This is just one I have handy right now. This is Urban Decay Perversion. And what you're going to do is, first of all, ladies, don't ever pump your mascara like this. Okay? You want to, like, swirl it inside the tube. And then as you pull it out, just kind of give it like a flick of the wrist. And when you go to apply your mascara, apply from the top first and make sure and get a good coating on there. Let it dry and then curl your lashes again and then go from the bottom up. And sometimes it helps to use zigzag motion, so when you do it you can go like this. And that'll kind of help to ensure a good coating. And then
the rubber brush part.
The rubber brush part?
Yeah, how it's good for your lashes.
Oh yeah. A rubber brush is always better to use on your lashes. It's not going to be as harsh. And then the last thing you want to do is set your foundation to make sure that it doesn't move. It's not going to go anywhere. And I am using Too Faced Trimmed and Poreless. This is a setting powder. And I'm going to just take this on my Kabuki brush. And again, we are patting. I know it looks kind of funny at first, but the more you pat, the better.
Okay.
Yeah, it started. Okay, so again, we're just patting, stippling motions all over the face. Yes, this is going over her blush, it's going over her contour, it's going over her highlight, and it's just going to give the face that natural look instead of like harsh defined lines or anything like that. And keep in mind that the more stippling motions you use, the better. And if you still can't get the product to go on the way you want, you can take a dual fiber brush. This is a 187 from MAC, and use circular motions very light-handedly all over the face.
Getting hair.
And just finish off that way. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down below in the description bar. I'm really hoping to start 2016 off with a bang and kind of keep this rolling and hopefully develop a YouTube channel and a YouTube family. I look forward to hearing from everybody, and we'll see you guys in the next videos. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Alright, bye guys!